We'll scrub here at JJC. There are some alternative methods, but to keep things consistent, we'll do it always the same way. Start by getting the water temperature where you like it, where it's comfortable. Moisten your hands and arms. Get some soap from the dispenser from the wall and suds up all the way from your hands to your elbows. Then you'll take the fingernail pick that came with the scrub brush and pick out from underneath your fingers. Notice we're picking our fingers out with the pick before we rinse the suds off. Be careful around these cabinets that you don't accidentally hit the handles, the walls, or the cabinets. You'll need to start your scrub over again if that happens. Once you're done, drop the fingernail pick into the sink and rinse off. Now you want to take the scrub brush, and our scrub brushes may or may not come with soap in the sponge. This one does come with soap in the sponge. Moisten it down, lather it up. Take the suds that are in the sponge and wipe it all over your hands and your arms, just the sponge part, not the bristle part. Get them nice and lathery, because by the time you're done, it'll be dry. Take your fingers and cup them so the fingernails are sticking out. And take the brush, do 20 strokes along the fingernails. Get deep enough so that the cuticle is in the bristles as well. Then go to one of the 4 sides of your fingers. Again, do 20 strokes. It's okay to do all 4 of them together, or you can do individual fingers if you like. Notice that on the index finger, the one side goes all the way down to the webbing of the thumb. And when you do in between the fingers, make sure you do go all the way down into the webbing and get that scrubbed as well. On the little finger, notice that the edge only goes down to the base of the little finger. It doesn't go to the heel of the palm. That's one of the 4 sides for the hand. Don't forget that thumb. I tend to do all the fingers first and then do the 4 sides of the thumb. And notice that the 4 sides of the thumb don't go beyond the lower knuckle. Now start the hand. It has 4 sides as well. My hand is wider than the brush, so I do 20 strokes on one part of the hand and then 20 strokes on the other part. I'll do the same thing on the back side of my hand. 20 strokes here and then 20 strokes there. If your hand is narrow enough and it fits in the sponge, you only need to do 20 strokes. And there's the heel of that palm as one side, and then below the thumb is the 4th surface. Here's where we're going to differ from a lot of other techniques. We're not going to go down to the arm until we've completed the hand on the other side. We're going to do the same technique, 20 strokes on all surfaces. Start with the fingernails, the fingers, of course then the 4 sides of the hand. Again, that index finger, the one side goes all the way down to your thumb. During this entire time, you have to make sure that the hand stays above the angle of the arm. The idea is to keep your fingertips the most aseptic part. So you start up from the tips of the fingers and work your way down in a systematic manner. Remember, everything has 4 surfaces, and we're going to scrub 20 times on each one of the 4 surfaces. That's the technique we're going to use here. Again, my palm is too wide for this brush, so I do 40 strokes as I do on the back side of my hand. 20 strokes here and then 20 strokes across from it. Now that both hands are complete, I can start down on my wrist. Do the upper half of the arm, 4 different surfaces, 20 strokes each. And I like doing the scrub in sections. Before we go down to the lower arm, I want to take the other hand, the other arm, and do its upper surface. Again, 4 sides. Now that both upper arms have been done, you can go down to the lower section of the arm. Again, 4 sides. So that the arm that's doing the scrubbing isn't angled down too far. The arm that's being scrubbed should be lifted up pretty high. Avoid taking the brush and hitting your upper arm above the elbow. When you transfer the brush, be careful not to drop it, and make sure that you grab it at the sponge area behind the bristles. You don't want to grab it at the bristles because now the bristles have been down by your elbow. You don't want to contaminate your fingers. When you're done, drop the brush into the sink. Squat down so that you can rinse off your hands. Be careful not to hit the hands against the faucet or the cabinets. And you need to squat down to the level of the faucet, otherwise you'll end up dipping your hand too low. And then let them drip dry. Towel drying with a 4-quadrant technique means that each side of the towel will always stay on the same side, and you're going to do either end of the towel with one arm. This is demonstrating the one arm being used on the upper surface. And this gets turned like a wheel, and the same thing is done on the other side.